Nepal, once known for its serene Himalayas and rich cultural heritages, now amid fierce political turmoil. In September 2025, waves of protests swept across the nation, igniting deadly unrest. Government buildings burned, tanks rolled into streets, and a prime minister resigned. This is the story of how a country found itself at a crossroads and the youth-led Gen Z movement demanding change. Spark of the protests in early September 2025, Nepal's government introduced a controversial social media regulation, a bill aimed at restricting online expression, citing erosion of civil liberties and targeting young voices. Gen Z erupted in protest. As the unrest grew, police responded with tear gas, rubber bullets, and live ammunition, which tragically resulted in multiple deaths and hundreds injured. Buildings, including parliamentary premises and media offices, were set ablaze. State of emergency with chaos escalating. The army was deployed, imposing a strict curfew in Kathmandu, patrolling streets and controlling movement. The government attempted to restore order, yet international attention surged. Tourists were stranded, and Indian authorities expressed deep concern. The relentless pressure ultimately forced Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli to resign, an outcome that underscored the intensity of the public's dissatisfaction. The Gen Z movement. These protests weren't just about policy, they symbolized a generational revolt. Frustrated by corruption, nepotism, and job scarcity, youth demanded genuine accountability. In some cases, jail riots and prison breaks led to thousands of inmates escaping, raising serious security alarms, not just in Nepal, but across its borders. Faces of the revolution. In the face of institutional collapse, a surprising figure emerged: Kathmandu's young mayor, Balendra Shah. Once a rapper and structural engineer, Shah struck a chord with Gen Z thought to be a possible leader of a neutral interim council. He stood as a symbol of transparency and reform. At the same time, protest leaders proposed former Chief Justice Sushila Karki to lead a transitional government. Her stature offered credibility, but her appointment highlighted deep divisions over Nepal's future structure. Echoes of monarchy and reform amid the chaos, calls for constitutional overhaul and new governance echoed. Some Gen Z groups demanded the dissolution of the House of Representatives and the adoption of a new constitution that better reflected contemporary values beyond Republican demands. A growing pro-monarchy sentiment emerged. Earlier in 2025, thousands welcomed former King Gyanendra back to demanding restoration of the monarchy and the Hindu state, an unsettling revival for many. Political fragility. K.P. Sharma Oli's resignation came after his fourth appointment as Prime Minister, from July 2024 to September 2025. Yet, Nepal's democracy remained fragile, marked by shifting coalitions, failed reforms, and popular disillusionment. A political scientist even proposed barring longtime leader Doha and Doiba from holding office to break the entrenched cycle of elite dominance. Voices from the streets, ground-level voices, reveal growing frustration. As one user observed, "We've tried democracy, monarchy, revival, but all have plunged the country backward. We're stuck in never-ending political drama. The youth leave due to corruption and stagnation. 20 years of Oli Doiba to halt, 20 years too long. What comes next?" With the status quo collapsing, multiple scenarios loom. Will Sushila Karki form a transitional government? Could Balendra Shah lead a new, youth-driven political vision? Will reformers succeed in breaking Nepal's leadership deadlock? Or will the tide swing back toward monarchy or renewed partisan conflict? As institutions crumble, a window of possibility opens. But the path to democracy, reconciliation, and stability remains uncertain. The crossroads. Nepal stands at a pivotal moment. A youth uprising has challenged decades of dysfunction. The question now: can the nation forge a path beyond corruption, patronage, and instability? In the streets of Kathmandu, and across the hills and valleys of this resilient nation, the Gen Z generation, armed with courage and conviction, asks for more than just change. They demand a new Nepal. Whether that dawn will come peacefully, and on whose terms, remains Nepal's greatest question yet.